parking area with those devices. So anytime you see someone with a laptop and a big antenna, do not press your 4. Or if there are multiple people, then you can press the 4 because then it is difficult to do that, to intercept that request or anything. Yes, please.
Do you think that this type of application
So most of the hackers are inspired from games. So I think they would, I think, oh, okay. I don't see the difference, but yes. Yes, so Ontario is leading in the country. Quebec is also leading, but Alberta got jealous. So last 2 years, the car stealing theft or car theft was at peak, like it is exponentially increased. I have that slide. Like there were like 5,600 cars stolen from each of these provinces. British Columbia, surprisingly, is not on the list, but we like to do accidents, like really hack the car. So we are leading the accident thing, but or we are too busy on other problems. So, but I did not saw British Columbia on the list. But yes, 5,600 cars is like billions of dollars. So those who have just came, we have not started the presentation. We are just taking question and answers because of some technical difficulties. Yes, sir.
What do you see as like the future of now computer? What do you see?
At today, there is no solution, but the problem is that cars were invented before computers, and a lot of security started when computers getting hacked. And all these big companies, they have a lot of budget, but I don't know where the budget goes because they're not using those budgets they're using those budgets in R&D for the features, but not on to secure the cars or make them more secure. Because every year at DEF CON Black Hat, we have Pawn to Own in Vancouver. So this year Tesla got hacked. Tesla is consistent. It got reports are submitted every year in Pawn to Own. The future is we have to limit access. Uh, there's a lot of things. We have integrated computers, and there's a lot of computational power in your cars. So to exemplify, you can also play a PlayStation in your car, which requires a lot of input and output and all those things. But I've seen with little or minimal effort, you can play PlayStation. And because of that computational power, tomorrow or maybe next year or within 5 years, people will start writing malware or crypto that would mine Bitcoins in your car, and you will never know. You'll never know. So that's, yes, sir.
I have two questions. The first is, how many cars have you collected, and do you have any deals?
So this research is a part of our car hacking research that was sponsored by CyberInsure, IOFIT, and other companies. So basically, we tried to do for United States and European. So we tried to do a lot of open source tools and everything, and we also invested the budget in some high-end devices to figure it out. But at the end of the day, there are always an exploit available for Toyota and all those other cars. I will not name anyone because this is being streamed, so I don't want to face anything. But the security in car is something that is recently started, and before, like the first car on paper was hacked in front of a crowd like this in 2010. And so before that, it doesn't mean the car hacking was not going on, but obviously people did not see the interest in it. And then afterwards, the security becomes started. But when it comes to connected cars and everything, we are also applying a lot of computers and all those. Now, if you see a car, you have sensors, you have Wi-Fi, you have Bluetooth. I think you can live in your car. You don't need to rent, considering the situation in Canada. But yeah, so a lot of those features, and there is the Bluetooth hacking. You can do the Bluetooth. I've also seen someone doing Raspberry Pi, dropping with the Hack R5 or any other devices, and so all the customers going there they are potentially leaking the telecommunication or any other network in the cabs or anything, and then you just call the cab next day, oh, I dropped my power bank, and collect it, and then you can analyze all the data. So perfect. Yeah, sure. Next slide. So who am I? I have my own company in Vancouver. Before that, I used to work for Optiv, PwC, and all those Big Four and Fortune 500. These are my names that I've written research papers. Not promote any car hacking, so I will not answer anything how to hack your Toyota, Mercedes, or those questions. I also am. This research is based on to entertain, or not to entertain, to like help people to understand what are the things that are found in the industry and how actually cars are stealed, and a lot of people how what happens when they lose car and all those stuff. But I do not promote car hacking and everything. If you want to learn, then I have some labs and I have some techniques shown here. But if you try to do it on your own car, then be careful, you might break your car. That's another thing. But let's move forward. Why car hacking? So why not? Because there's a $1 billion business in this. It is less secure. There is a huge budget, but we don't know where that budget is going. At least it is not going in security. That's what I can tell. Modern cars are no less than running computers. So this is an example I give because a lot of people don't understand the car technology. And 6 months before, when I started, even I was not understanding a lot of car terminologies. So when PlayStation 3 got in 2006 or 7, at that point, what happened is because it was so much computational power, uh, and no other computer was available for $600, $700, people started running Linux code on your PlayStation. So that can be done with modern cars today. I hope people are doing a research on that as well, but we'll see those later. Is car hacking illegal? If you don't get caught, then that's another question. But in United States, I'm not aware of any Canadian constitution law. I'm assuming that it would be there. But in United States, after 2015, the constitution says good faith, like if you're doing it for the good faith. So I don't think that's a good word for the constitution nor your IELTS exam. But if you're doing only on your car, then you're allowed. If you're doing on any other car, then you're not allowed. And odometer hacking and all those other sensors, or if you try to tamper with them, then they are all illegal because odometer decides the value of the car, like if you how much your car has been running. So those things are always illegal. This is a Wikipedia definition, so we'll skip. Yes, the problem is that he showed it to a lot of people, and that's how the news got out. But yes, I agree with your point. But if you're just looking in your car and if you are just for educational purposes, then that's okay. That's what good faith means. But he went on a podcast, inspiring from the Xbox hacker. What So the Xbox hacker in 2003-4, he was able to access Xbox networks, and then he went in the podcast and showed the entire thing. So this guy also did the same thing. So after that, a lawsuit was filed. But usually in North America, if you do things like this, you get hired by the company anyways. So this is the history of car hacking. In 2010, it was demonstrated publicly how ECU can be hacked. A full ECU is an electronic car unit for the cars, and acceleration, brakes, all the safety features were compromised. Like without pressing the gas button, you can accelerate your car, you can disable the brakes, or you can apply the handbrake and everything. This is a famous 2015 Fiat Chrysler Uconnect hack, and there is Tesla Model S. These videos are available on DEFCON if you want to know how these things. Uconnect is a famous tool that was used by a lot of other companies like Honda, Toyota, Jeep, Chrysler, Ram, Ford, everyone. So ultimately, all are affected by this. Next slide. This is USB entry. This is keyless entry fobs by Sammy Kamkar. One genius, General Motors, they gave access of the entire car using mobile applications. If you saw my talk on mobile applications on B-Sides Edmonton, this is you should never do it. So you hack the mobile application, you hack the entire car. So that's one of the things. Like you should not trust giving your access onto a third party developing a mobile. Even if I steal someone's mobile, then I have a complete access to your car. So this is something that was available on dark web, and I've seen the device. So this is a device available on dark web that can start the ignition mechanism of your car. And if you start the ignition mechanism, basically you can drive the car afterwards. So a lot of people use it. Government organizations have tried to ban these and stuff, but here and there these kind of things come up. Car hacking statistics, I wanted the most stolen car is Honda CR-V 8000. These are the data. That is, Alberta is, in last 2 years, we have seen a lot of car stealing reports in Alberta. The only problem here is that the insurance passes and then a lot of people don't know where their car went. Also, so everyone is happy. It's a win-win situation here. If the insurance passes, the customer doesn't care about the car. The company doesn't care about the car. The police, I will not comment on that, but after that, the stealer is also happy because he has also made profit on that. So yes, these are the reports from the famous CBC, Vancouver, Global News, and all those things for the last 2 years. Next slide. This is also something that I do not approve, or like in news, there is always something here and there that can be fake or not appropriate. So this was one news that was found that the car has been hacked by changing the fob key. We have not seen any instances where a stolen car is recovered where the internal software has been changed. So be aware of such news as well. Now we'll start with what is CAN and ECU. CAN is control area network and ECU is electronic car unit. ECU is like just your motherboard. So if you have RAM, ROM, then those are the ECU units. And the entire network that connects all these microprocessors and everything is called as CAN bus. And CAN is a control area network, and they are connected just like veins and your other organs of the body. So now the funny thing is that this is a basic car component model, but you can see there are lots of components, and each of them, like I already told, there is entertainment system, entry, radio, anti-lock braking systems. All of these things are examples of ECU on your car, and the CAN basically controls this or sends instructions. In the next slide, this is a bit advanced, but like this, so all the modern connected cars would have structure like this. That was a bit a generalized situation or diagram, but you can see that all these things can be hackable. It goes under IoT pen testing or IoT security assessments, and after that, you can break into these. You either control the car or one component of the car, and then you can move laterally, just like a computer or a network. But yes, so these are all the components. We do need some components, but a lot of those are extra and additional features based on the competition of the market and the other things. This is how CAN sends data. So I will not go much into this, but there is a CRC and acknowledgement field at the line. So if you know a little bit of cryptography, then you would know that CRC is cyclic redundancy check and all those things. This is the extended CAN data message. I believe it started after. So this is the basic model. This is the advanced model. And basically, when you're trying to break into a car, you should know that this is the exact data, packet data that is being sent by the CAN and stuff. Now, this is the car circuit without CAN, and this is the car circuit with CAN. And now you can understand that this is a serial connection, like a series connection, and this is a parallel connection. So in this connection, you have each device connecting separately. So then it is very difficult to reverse engineer that, okay, which binary is for which opcode is going for which component part. But here you can see that, okay, from the ECU, it will go to the device or to the headlight or to the brakes or to the cars or to the acceleration path. And from there, it is easy to reverse engineer. So this is the modern version. This you would see in a lot of cars today. And with this, if reverse engineering is easy, then you can easily break into and provide custom instructions rather doing it by yourself. So tools used. I have used a lot of tools like this and other tools, and these all are open source. So CAN utilities, ICSIM, we have a demonstration from ICSIM, that is from opengarages.org. Scan tool, Wireshark, TCP dump. Virtual car is another. If you don't want to try it on your own car, or if you don't have that much budget or something, you can use this virtual car or those simulations where you will know what actually is happening, but you don't end up breaking up your car or any other reasons if you do it. You skip 2 slides? Okay. I personally use Kali Linux because a lot of tools are available on it and it is easy to configure. But there are specific devices available just for automotive hacking. So there is Dragon OS, there is AutoHack OS. AutoHack OS has been already demonstrated in Black Hat and DEF CON conferences. But Dragon OS is based on SDR, so you will find a lot of software-defined radio tools there. So if you have hack R5 or anything, all those tools that depend on the radio waves and frequency, then you don't need to configure a lot of things. You just plug and play with Dragon OS and AutoHack OS. These are the GitHub links for you to check out. ICSIM. So ICSIM is available on this GitHub link, and it is a simulator plus physical car. So if you attach with your ECU, then it will recognize and you can you can dump the logs of the instructions that are being sent. But here we have not used. Here we are using just a simulator for demonstration purposes. But CAN sniffer is used. So this utility, CAN utilities, have a lot of other packages, but we will use only CAN sniffer. This is a command to start CAN sniffer and the interface. And Open Garage has some labs. So basically what Open Garage does is that it will create a virtual instance on your Kali Linux, and then like a Docker container, and then it will show you that, okay, if you press the A button on the controller, then it is used for brakes, it is used for your front doors, back doors, for the front lights, for the back lights, and you have to reverse engineer all the data that is sent by the CAN bus to each of these ECU components, and then you will find out that, okay, if I send this packet, then the car is accelerating. If I send this packet, then the brakes are applied or the front door or the back door is locked. This is the simulation. So basically it's showing a remote, but these are the doors, these are the acceleration and all this. So you have to press here, and then you can see that, okay, for accelerator, there is this odometer, or this is provided that you're on 20, you're on 40 speed. And in the background, this is how you can dump the data and you can look into. So you have to reverse engineer this thing for every car, and you will then know that, okay, this is the bytecode or this is the place which is the exact instruction of the brakes or the acceleration or the doors or any other, or the sensors. If someone is passing right beside you, there is a sensor. So all these things can come into this picture. I showed two two figures, that one is with ECU, one is without ECU. When it comes to without ECU, you will have a lot of dumps because everything is going differently. But with ECU, this thing is very less, like compared to the file size and stuff. So that's why it is easy for reverse engineers to find the exact packet data or the opcode. And from there, you can just replay this, or with a command line, you can send that to the exact ECU. I would suggest something if you're doing it on your car or doing it on it. If you try to accelerate it, make sure you're not standing in front of your car, because you know what I mean, right? So it is better to know the car first and then do things like this, because I've seen on YouTube fails or stuff where you accelerate the car, but you're standing in front of the car. So that's a bit dangerous. So these are the devices that I use. One is Hack RF1, the other one. So these are like devices range from $5 to $10 to $10,000, $20,000. But the devices that I've shown here are around $100 to $500, like purchasable by a common man or someone with a less budget. And they have a pretty standard range. So as I mentioned, 1 room, 2 room. So you can do that in a parking lot or stuff that is. Other devices that are higher in ranges, like probably 500, 600 meters or above. So those devices are with government or military level capabilities. Because it is completely radio based, so it does not mean that you're just attacking cars, but you can also attack telecommunications and all those other things also with this device. Because at the end of the day, it's just a radio signal that is you are passing by the form. So the first phase is to jam car key fobs, and then we can intercept the original one. There is this one utility, Osmocom, that is used to jam all the signals. If you know, or if you have seen any rallies or protest, or sorry, not protest, but if you have seen any government entity moving in a car or someone, or he's going for a speech, then you can always find these jammers in his car or stuff, and you cannot access your mobile phone, or Wi-Fi is not available because of the security of that person. Though they have advanced devices that have a pretty large range, but you can do something like this at your own level, like in a room or something for demonstration purposes. So basically what Osmocon does, and this is a command -D-F is the frequency, hack RF is our physical device that we have. And so basically what it does is that it throws a lot of gibberish into the area. It generates a lot of packets and throws into the area that the original packet or the original packet that is meant for the car or for your telecommunication will not reach to its place. And so this is kind of a DDoS thing in our application security. So that's the thing. One TV show that has shown this is Mr. Robot. I don't know if you have watched this or not, but they are sitting in the parking and they are trying to break into the law enforcement vehicles. But yeah, so there is, if you do that is around airport or any other places, then you might mess up with the other radio frequency devices and stuff, but you need a very large range to do this. Normal devices or devices available on Amazon will only have one room a range. So you can do that. You can bring up 3 or 4 mobile phones, and then you can start this, and you will see that you will not have network or telecommunication network on your mobile phone or stuff. Because a lot of these devices are used by military and government to block connections when you are when the ministers or those people are going up. That is for security reason. Do not do this, because if someone finds you, then you are in trouble, because any kind of DDoS or any kind of denial of service can put you behind bars. Now we'll try to capture the FOB, the request from the FOB. So I've written the exact instructions. If anyone wants to try, then replay the, so just look here. If you have the FOB with you, you press the button, signal is transferred, and I have my device in the parking area or wherever I am, and then that intercepts it. That is a locking or unlocking device. unlocking relay. If the person does it again, if the instruction passes, then the car is locked or unlocked. So you have to first figure it out whether the car is locked or unlocked, and based on that, you can see whether which kind of packet data or the radio wave frequency you have. That's why a lot of thieves use the first request, so that they send a lot of jamming signals into the net area, and then you are able to intercept the one packet that comes from the fork, and then you replay that attack when the owner is not there. A lot of car stealers use these, but also if you're trying this at your home or somewhere, make sure you are alone and doing this. Sometimes you also capture your neighbor's swerve signal if you both are playing at the same time, and that is not legal because now you have a legitimate request that the car will respond to, and that does not belong to your car. So keep that in mind because we did face into a situation like this. So now I will show you that this is the exact POC. You can see the spikes going up. So we were doing this in a parking where we only had our car and no one else was present. So whatever we intercept is our car basically. And then the spike here, there is a button here to replay. And if you replay the button, then the car was opened up. And then I also captured the lock request, and then replaying the request, the car was locked and the car was unlocked. So that's it. And then in some cars, you have the button to start the engine, so you're good to go. We also covered those older cars where there is no button. You use a key to ignite the engine, but that is not part of this research. Now, if you're a Tesla fan or user, then this is the Pawn to Own 2023 Vancouver. So Tesla was hacked within 2 minutes. $100,000 bounty was given. The vulnerability was in this time of check to time of use, TCO-TTOU, attack on Tesla's gateway energy. And this was done by Synaptic. It is a French company. I don't know much of them. The only thing I've been close to France is the French fries. So I don't know them. But yes, it was a cool bug. It was covered in a lot of newspapers and stuff, but not a lot of technical, technical things were disclosed in this. But Tesla also has an article acknowledging them, so it is legitimate. It is not like the newspaper article I showed before. Yes, so this is legitimate. Now, we will have something that I found on Tesla, and I reported it this week. Because I got a lot of requests from people, are you showing something on Tesla? Are you showing something on Tesla? So I started my recon on Tesla, and then I found something. So basically, Tesla has a feature that shares. You can see here, this is the user usage disk and all those things. And above is the model number and whether the brakes are applied or whether the car is locked, whether the passenger or the driver is sitting in the car, because you have those automatic features where if you sit, then the heater starts in the seat. So this was all the APIs. And I was able to see coordinates, that is latitude and longitude. Then I put it on the Google Maps, and then it was parked somewhere in Florida. I did not open the complete dashboard because I thought that would be illegal because this is a Tesla Model 3. I believe that's the latest. I'm not sure. I'm not a big fan of Tesla, but yes. So that's the thing. So if you see the Tesla documentation for that feature, then it says track live location, check if driver present in that car or not, check if car is locked or not. You can also make online car to sleep. The trunk is open or not. This information is also available. And I don't know what is Sentry mode because I have not been able to research much on that, but that option was also available for those APIs. And I'm pretty sure when you open the dashboard, you will have a lot more information and where you can toggle these certain options. And so this is pretty bad. So APIs are used for these features unauthenticated or a misconfiguration. So now this is not a car vulnerability, like a physical car vulnerability. This is something that was added on as a feature using the APIs and everything. So web application also comes into the picture. We have something called a zero trust policy, very famous nowadays in application security, but that does not apply to cars and other IoT devices. And that's why when you, even on mobile application, there is a web view. If you implement the web view, all the OWASP top 10 for a web application is now included in the mobile application. Here, all OWASP top 10 APIs are now included in a car hacking scenario. So this is what happens when you integrate or when you give a lot of features and then you are able to see everyone on the internet. My honest opinions, I already shared the two of them, that malware will be based on car and crypto mining. So your car will be earning more than you, but you won't be knowing it. And then there will be IoT devices will be used in car hacking. Raspberry Pi, you can plug those hack RF and all those stuff. You can place it anywhere on in the parking lot or anywhere in those things. There is something called as protected cases. Like I've seen a lot of those things on Amazon. But the problem is that still you have to open that case and put the forbs, input the forbs. So that is used to not clone your entire fob. So there are devices that can clone your entire fobs. Then what you can do is that you have a different fob with sending the same. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But even if it is a 10% possibility, then it is dangerous. I already mentioned this. So. Thank you everyone for coming. I would also like to thank all the B-Sides Calgary volunteers, speakers, and everyone who was involved, sponsors, everyone who was involved in this. And these 2 days have been excellent for us. And thank you everyone. If you have any questions, we do have 5 minutes. Yes.
So, considering there's no concept of network segregation and privileged access.
We are very far from that actually. Right now we have just things, we don't have control. So if a circuit is there, it is there. There is no privilege. Because car is used by only one person. So you will either have full privileges or the car is locked.
But what is the case with self-driving cars? Surely there's an additional tier of security present there, or should be.
It should be there, but self-driving car is automatic. Like we don't trust AI today, right? I've seen AI like monkey and cat telling the same thing. So, but in future we would have an AI like that who can drive a car. But right now that those things are in implementation, so we don't have a lot of information on that. But if there is a self-driving car and with no security, then someone can just drive your car for fun, and you won't even know it. Like if consider this example, if there is another feature to drive a car, like you have seen in this James Bond's movie, right? They have the mobile, and from mobile you can drive the car. So if there is an API with which you can drive the car, then I'm sitting in Vancouver, I'm driving someone's car in Florida, and because of the extradition, he cannot even come and arrest me or something like that. So it should be there. That's what I've been saying, that these things, when they were started, there was no security model at that point, and that's why we lack a lot of security models for the car. Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you for the information. Yes.
So we're talking a lot about replay tech. I'm not sure about what I'm telling, but right, they started to implement more and more rolling type of thing to protect against replay attack. I know there was like some are like gold gen, but basically gen the signal for the first play 2 times the signal will evolve, and then they're replaying the first one, but then keeping the second one fixed for. Is there any protection against that? And is the replay attack still up to date, let's say, since more and more companies are like, okay, replay attack's pretty simple, let's try to implement normal rolling code that way, we just can't recite nature.
Yes. Yes. So those are some advanced mechanisms. We have seen those in our research, but just for the presentation and for the, I've started with the basic ones, because if I say that, okay, there is 2 times iterations, 3 times iteration, but you don't know what one iteration looks like, then it will be difficult. It's the same as like for anyone who is in the web application, is like double encoding, triple encoding. But then there are also ways to, because here you are just intercepting and forwarding it. So there should be a mechanism on the car side to understand that this doesn't come from a legitimate user or someone from a device, not from the car. So yes, but we can talk after the session.